What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back. It's your boy Blue, and today we are taking a look at the Thrustmaster T16000m joystick and throttle set 3 years later. This is actually my first ever joystick and my first ever throttle I've ever had for any kind of flight sim. I've been using these for X-Plane, DCS World, Star Citizen. I mean, anything that runs a joystick and throttle, I've been using this baby for. Anyways, I can't believe that these things have lasted 3 years. So far, they've been pretty darn durable. I do have some things I want to point out that are not so good about these joysticks, and I will get to them. But as you can see, if you don't know, or if you're new to the T16000 series, you can see it has a slider here on the bottom. It also has 6 on the left, 6 buttons on the left, and 6 buttons on the right, as well as a few buttons up top, as well as a little hat switch here. You have a trigger, if you want to use that for combat sims, and as well as it has the left and right yaw, the x-axis, y-axis, all that good stuff. It's pretty decent, to be honest with you. It's a great starter joystick. I've seen some people with the space games actually use dual joysticks to have one in the left hand, one in the right. Another cool thing is that it's ambidextrous. I probably said that completely wrong, but you could actually use this for your right hand or for your left hand. There's a way that you can actually unscrew this the top of this joystick, and I've never actually done it, honestly, but I know that it's possible to actually make this left or right-handed, which is pretty cool. Very important feature for some people out there who want to switch hands. So, but I've been really happy, honestly, with the joystick. I wish I could be a little bit more sensitive, honestly, with how it turns here at the center, like how the way it rolls, especially when you're playing games like DCS World, or really any game that really you need fine tuning of the dead zone, I guess you could say. It sticks straight up, as you can see here, but as you start to move it, if you need to move it just a slight bit, sometimes it can be kind of hard to do so. Not that I'm saying like it's not hard to move. I'm saying like if you want to be really precise, you might have to go into your game settings and change your curve there. And speaking of that, let's move on to the actual throttle quadrant, which is pretty cool. Has a lot of buttons. I also should mention on the joystick itself, it has about 20 mappable buttons, not including the rotating axes. And then as well as on the throttle, you have about, I think, 18 to 20 things that you can map to this as well. As you can see on the side here, has plenty of buttons. Here, lots of switches and things like that you can map to various things. I promise you, I have used every single one of these, especially in DCS World, where you have to map a lot of buttons, but you definitely have a lot of space for that. A few complaints I would like to say. Honestly, the joystick is probably better than the throttle, because the joystick, with the throttle, one thing I want to point out for sure is this right here, this little, it's kind of like a rudder pedal looking kind of thing. This is what I actually use it for, is for my rudder pedal, but I actually had to stop using it because this little, I guess I call it the flappy thing, it stopped working. So even right now, I can't actually use it. My games still detect that it's there, right? The issue is that it's not centered anymore. It's kind of like off center. If I actually open up X-Plane or something like that, you'll see that the axis is kind of like moving all on its own. It's kind of weird, but it's basically become unusable. So I actually had to use this thing right here, which is really weird, and people are gonna make fun of me, but I had to make it happen. I used this little thing right here for my rudder for a very long time, until I had to get me my own actual rudder pedals. But other than that, another small complaint, I guess, or big, it's your choice if you think it's a big or small complaint, is this here. So as you move it up, so let me go ahead and put it down. You can see here, as I put it down, it's kind of tough to move it forward and back. So it's pretty smooth, but again, like a lot of the games that I play, you need to really have a fine, I shouldn't say advantage, but you need to really be able to fine tune how the little bitty small. So look at this, look how I'm moving it forward. You see how I'm barely trying to give it as little pressure as possible to be as fine as possible. And you see how this kind of pushes forward, this kind of stutters forward. And that's been a complaint of mine for a while. I think when I first got it, it was a lot smoother. But as it gets older, you might want to put in like some grease or something inside of here, to allow it to roll smoother. I really haven't tried this. So if you're just going from nothing, from 0 to 100, it goes pretty smooth. But if you really want to, like, especially like if you're doing DCS world and you're like air-to-air refueling or formation flying or landing a plane in or landing a spaceship in Star Citizen, something like that, you'll notice that when you're trying to make those really small adjustments, it's really hard to do that. And that's honestly my two biggest complaints is kind of the stickiness of the throttle, at least over time, and then they're kind of like the rudder sticks here on the front of it. They just kind of messes up in being. And I did look it up to see, and there are definitely other people who had that same issue with this front part. Other than that, though, honestly, everything else has worked perfectly fine. I mean, I have no regrets at all. I would honestly, despite the issues, I would still recommend it for somebody for their first joystick and throttle combo. But thankfully, I'm actually gonna be moving on up and upgrading from this combo. I'm probably gonna still use the joystick for sure, but I'm probably gonna phase out the throttle unless, you know, I need to use it for something. I'm probably gonna keep it around for a while. But I've been really liking it, been really enjoying it. Sometimes for me personally, it's hard for me to let things go. So I did mention an upgrade, didn't I? We're gonna be upgrading from the T16000m joystick and throttle set to the A10 Warthog HOTAS joystick and throttle set. Oh yeah, oh my god, this baby right here, all I'm gonna say is she is heavy duty. Like, you just touch it, feel it, pick it up. I mean, you really understand how heavy duty this baby is. Again, stay tuned, we'll have a video dedicated to that if you want to know more about that combination. But hopefully this video helped you guys understand the durability of the T16000 and how it's actually been with me around all these 3 years, and I'm very happy with it, you know, despite again those issues. But until next time, guys, remember you have 3 choices: give up, give in, and give it all you got. Peace, love, and God bless you. I will see you guys next time, next video. I'm out.
Man, I went from a bag to a bag to a bag. I remember me and mama used to ride the cab. Pull up at the lot, no more lease, we paying cash. Show up to a crib, had the keys to a Jag. That's that light work, flexing so much it hurt. Used to rock hand-me-downs, now Versace down my shirt. I remember them days we couldn't wait for the first. Finally made me a meal, now we eating